Hello planner people, welcome back to my channel. It's been quite a long time since I filmed a YouTube video, a couple of years to be exact, but today I'm going to be filming an unboxing of my first custom VDS planner. Since it was my first custom, I'm also going to be giving you all the details on the ordering process in case you're curious about that. Because when I went into it, I didn't really know all the ins and outs of all the customizations and the cost and things that you could do that would cost extra and things that wouldn't. So I'm going to be giving you a rundown of that. So if you're interested in the custom VDS process, then keep on watching. So first off, I did take some notes in my planner so that you guys could see the timeline of everything that happened and the exact dates. So since it was my first custom, I wasn't sure if I needed to order via email or via the web shop. So I sent my first inquiry email about the planner on December 16th. And then on December 24th, I got an email back from Petra, and she told me that I could order it on the web shop, and only one thing that I wanted would be extra that I would have to pay for via PayPal. And so that day I went and ordered my planner on the web shop. At this time, it was an 11-week wait, and it was supposed to ship by March 11th. And then I also emailed Petra back, letting her know that I had purchased a planner and with a picture of my texture preference from someone that I found on the Facebook group. So then on December 28th, I got an email back from Petra saying that I needed to pay for the extra popper that I wanted via PayPal. And then I emailed her back and I clarified where I wanted the popper because I accidentally mixed up the names of them. Then on January 4th, I got an email back from her with the PayPal invoice, and I paid it, emailed her that I paid it, and then she emailed me back confirming the payment the same day. And then on January 28th, I got my pre-production email, and that's just an automatic email from the web shop that tells you that your planner is in pre-production, which means they're cutting out the leather pieces and stuff like that. And then on February 12th, I got my production email that my planner was going into production now. So then on March 8th, I got an email from Petra about things that I wanted in the clasp. I had asked for no stiffener in the clasp so that it would not be in the way when I was writing in the planner. So in the email, she said that I couldn't have no stiffener in the clasp, but that they could use a very thin Bontex and some foam over the popper so that you don't get the dot over the popper. And I emailed back confirming that that would be fine if that's what needed to be in the clasp. But when I had first inquired about the planner, I put that in the email about what I wanted, and she never mentioned it until when my planner was actually in production. And then on 3/9, I got an email back confirming that that's what they would do, use the Bontex and foam. And then on March 17th, I got my email from FedEx that it had shipped. So you don't get an email from VDS, you get it from FedEx. So make sure that you're signed up to get emails from FedEx so that you will see it. And I also wanted to mention that these are the types of emails that I got from FedEx while it was being shipped, because I know people will get these and then they will be nervous that something's wrong or their planner is going to be delayed. Whenever I get an international shipment, I always get some type of clearance issue email, even though I don't think anything is wrong. They're just making sure that it's going through the right place and all that. So I got a clearance issue email. I got that it was resolved. I got an operational delay when it was in Belgium, and that only said that for maybe a day, probably less. And then when I got into the US, I got another clearance issue resolved email when I got into Tennessee. And then on March 22nd, I received my planner. So overall, I ordered on December 24th. It was supposed to ship by March 11th, but it shipped on March 17th, and I received it March 22nd. So that's the whole timeline of the whole process, all the emails back and forth. I just wanted to share that because I know that I was nervous about the whole process, and so I thought that maybe this could make it a little less nerve-wracking on someone ordering their first custom. So now I'm going to share what I actually ordered and the price. So disclaimer, since I have ordered in the new year, I ordered in December, and then in 2022 the prices did change. They did go up a little bit, but I still wanted to share the prices of the different customizations because I didn't know that some of the things that I wanted wouldn't cost me money. And so I wanted to share that in case anyone else was wondering the same thing. So the planner that I ordered was a senior 30mm rings, and I did not get it widened. I got it in JL brown with matching stitching. So these prices right here that I wrote are in euros. So the base price was 150, and it cost an extra 10%, I guess, to get the JL brown leather. And so I think that the base starting price for the senior 30mm rings is now 160. So that's about how much the price increased since I bought mine. I also ordered a leather flyleaf. I lengthened the clasp by 20mm because that was required to get an extra popper. I got the chunky A4 size clasp. So not just the chunky is up one size, and then the A4 is the biggest clasp that you can get. I also opted for squared corners. And the total for this on the web shop was 275 euros plus the shipping. And so that was the web shop total in euros. And then this is what I paid on the web shop, like through my bank. This was the amount. So the amount will depend on the exchange rate at the time you buy and your bank or what you're paying through. And then via PayPal, I paid 15 euros for extra popper on the planner, which was $17.78 in US dollars at that time. And so the total I paid for the planner was $352.01 US dollars. And so in the notes for the planner, I also asked for minimal foam. I asked for no stiffener in the clasp, but like we talked about over here, I actually got Bontex in the clasp. I'm not sure what the normal thing that goes in the clasp is. And then I asked to remove the pen loop. I removed the left bottom pocket and the bottom right pocket. And then for the leather texture, I asked for it to feel smooth, but I do like large striations and scars over pebbling. That's what I said. So all of these customizations, like these removing things or not having things that are normally on the planner, these didn't cost me extra because it's not completely changing the layout of the planner. They're just taking one little part off. So this was the part that I was worried about. I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to pay extra for each one of these little things, but these were actually all no cost customizations. Okay, so now that we went over the timeline, the order, the cost, now let's get to actually unboxing the planner and see how it turned out and what it actually looks like. So I have peeked inside the box, but I have not fully opened it. I did take it out of the outside box because they're usually dirty. I didn't want it to get my desk dirty or anything like that. So I've also taken out this ready to ship TM Bordeaux to compare the planner to how it feels and the size to the ready to ship ones. Okay, now let's open it. So something I did not think about when ordering this custom that I think would be really cool is that you could ask for these corners on the Flyleaf to be squared as well. I think that would be really neat. So here is the Flyleaf. As you can see, these corners are squared, but the outside ones are not. And the stitching looks lighter than I thought was on the JL Brown. But it is still beautiful. It has some nice scars and wrinkles. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, now the planner. I think it's nice that they wrap it in paper so that it's like a surprise, but it's also terrible because then you have to wait to unwrap it. You can't just open the box and see it. Wow, that is a big strap. Oh my gosh. Let me set these boxes down. Wow. Wow, that's so pretty. So, first impression, when I peeked in the box and I saw this, I didn't think I was going to have like the texture like the picture that I had sent in, because it had these lines going this way on the planner, on the one that I liked, and they actually got it. It doesn't look like it's as dark as the one on the Facebook page that I saw, but hopefully you guys can see the lines that I'm talking about right here. I really like those. Here's the extra poppers. Okay. I hate these. I really like how they package their stuff as well with the foam so that you can keep it upright. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is the spine. The spine is quite thick because I ordered the 30mm rings, and I didn't think or like really care that much about like asking for the 25mm back plate instead. If you look at this one, you might be able to see how slim the 25mm back plate is compared to the 30mm one. It definitely like takes up my whole like palm compared to like this one. So this leather feels so nice. It's definitely squishy. I can tell that like compared to this one, I feel like you can feel the foam, even though I asked for minimal foam, but I don't think, if someone else touched the planner, I don't think they would know that there was foam in it unless you told them. And so I did opt for the square corners, and I don't mind the round corners, and you know, it's something I was debating about because it does cost extra. But the thing I don't like about the round corners is like how it looks on the inside. Like, I don't mind how it looks, but I don't like the bunching up of the round corners, if you know what I mean. So I also did ask for no pen loop in this because I just don't really like pen loops. I don't really keep a pen in my planner. Oh, I also did say no stiffener in this. I don't know if I mentioned that in the order since it's not something that cost extra. So I did remove this pocket and this pocket because I wanted there to be less bulk to the planner, especially if I wanted to put like an A6 notebook back here. I wanted it to be less bulky. I also did not get the back pocket like in the ready to ship ones because I never use them. Like, the only thing I use them for is to put paper in to make the planner not get those like indents right here that it can get from the rings. So I opted to not get one, but the planner still feels like pretty thick even without it. I was like almost afraid that it was gonna be like too thin or floppy like this and it wouldn't have any structure to it, but I definitely love it. Like if you see the texture here, the texture on the clasp is also really pretty. I am so happy with this. Really, now I just need to put stuff in it and see how it looks. Oh, and for the clasp, let's see. The planner doesn't really ever lay flat because the back plates in them aren't flat. But this does lay, you know, decently flat. And I'm sure it can be trained over time the more I leave it open. Oh, I also wanted to mention that I do not plan on babying this planner one little bit. I'm not going to spray it. I'm not going to not take it places. I mean, I might not take it out in the rain or anything, but I'm going to let it get all the character that it can. That's why I like the JL brown, and that's why I wanted it. Like, especially these lines, I can't wait for them to get darker and everything. So let's do some comparing about the clasps. So let's see if I can get them in frame. So if we look at the clasps, this one is definitely longer. Let's see if I can line them up correctly. And you can see like the comparison of the A6 clasp compared to the A4. I would also say that this clasp does feel less stiff than the one in the TM. And I can definitely feel the extra padding around the popper. It starts like about right here. You can feel it. But it definitely lays, the clasp lays down flatter than this. And so in the end, that's really what I wanted, so that it would be out of the way. So I would definitely say the Bontex and whatever they did was great. And so comparing the TM you get the secretarial pockets, but I don't really like that. I really just like it to be a slip pocket. And I did want to keep these pockets here so that I could put like task cards and things in them. And I didn't want this pocket because I feel like it just blocks here. Like you can put stickers or like decorations in there, but then there's only like this much space and you don't really see it. So what I like to do is just put like an ollie clip here and clip something, or just have the ollie clip for decoration, or you know, really any magnet or paper clip you want to put there. I am definitely so happy with this planner. Well, let's compare the sizes of these. I got this unwidened, but if you look, it's not that much shorter than the TM one, or it's about the same length. This one is a bit longer, like just the same as about what's longer on this one. So hopefully the inserts fit in here like I want, but I think that the 30mm back plate will also make a difference, because when you have stuff in these TM ones, it's like way over here and it just seems like an excessive amount of room, especially when I don't use the pen lips at all. Maybe I could show you real quick. If you look, this is the palm, and there's like so much extra space here. So yeah, I don't use dividers that stick out this much anymore. I use ones that are a bit more slim. And this clasp definitely feels like way stiff. So even when you open the TMs, there's like so much empty space over here. And like I said, I don't use the pen loops anyways. So I think I made a good call in not getting the planner widened at all. So let's see how this clasps. So that is on the farther in clasp. And that is on the one that's a bit farther out. So you could definitely chunk this way up. I'm not sure how much things would stick out, but maybe I could grab some things and throw them in here so that we can see. Okay, so while I have these other planners out, I thought that we could compare the color of the JL Brown. So this planner is from Printpressions. I can't remember what the name of it is right now, but I will put it in the info box so that you can look if you want to know. So these are pretty close, but this is definitely more orangey and it is more pebbly. And also I believe this is faux leather. And also on this, the strap is extremely short. I do like that it has the double popper, but it definitely wasn't big enough for me. And then this is a Moterm A6 Luxe, and this is the taupe color. Obviously a lot lighter, not really all that similar. But let's throw some stuff in here, even though it's just stuff. I really did not prepare anything for setting this planner up yet. I was just gonna do it once it got here. Okay, so now that I've gotten some stuff in here, you can see how this looks. There's still space here, but that's okay. I don't have any dividers in it right now. But, oh, I should have put a page lifter in the back. Let's clasp it. So you can see it doesn't stick out. Let me throw some more stuff in here so we can really see. Okay, so now that I've gotten some more stuff in here, we can see what it looks like. I also put the Flyleaf in. So now it has some dividers. Hopefully you can see. They're maybe sticking out a smidge, but they're also not like evenly divided through the things in the planner. They're kind of more at the front, but I definitely think this is a perfect size, and I'm happy I went with the unwidened and got the extra popper. So hopefully you guys can see how that looks and how it lines up so that you can decide if you want an unwidened or not. So yeah, I think that is all for this video. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any more questions about the planner or the ordering process or anything else, just leave them down in the comments and I will answer them. So I'll see you guys soon.